Hey, welcome back to this little corner of sacred space. It's already been set up for us, and so now you just welcome in to my little lodge. So I encourage you to grab a cup of water the size of your face, or maybe a tea in a cocktail glass, whatever you want. But yeah, enjoy the reading. I hope that it will serve you well and that it be in your highest good. And cheers. I love drinking tea out of cocktail glasses. It's just so fun. Yum. So, today's reading, I figured we would do just kind of an energetic check-in, just to see how are we doing. We're all here connected, and so our group, whether or not you know each other or not, whether we're spread across through time and space and cities and states and countries, we come here and we have a joint space. And so that means that that space has a heart, a heartbeat. And so we will check in with the heartbeat of our group and see how we doing? How's everything going? How are we feeling? Let's find out. So, ah, I think I will pull from this sweet little deck right here. I just love the imagery of this heart with the wings and these people. I kind of feel like it's soul tribe meeting together and connecting with one another. So let's just go ahead and oh wow, okay, wow. So that popped out first and foremost. We're gonna do a couple little checks. But apparently we're just diving straight into the reading. Claim your boundaries. Claim your boundaries. So how about you do that just for a second before we actually come in? Because what I did before inviting you guys in to my space, I created my energetic boundaries. And now it's time for you to create your energetic boundaries. And maybe think about that for a little while, maybe even journal about it if you need to. What is a boundary for you? And what what do you let in and what do you keep out? And for me, what always helps is that I create a space where everything that comes in is geared to serve me well. And it's in my highest alignment. It's part of my divine truth. And so that means it is wrapped in love. And that is like the shield. Love is that shield. I love how it's red, red like our blood, our heart. And then you've got this like big person hanging out with a gate. And look at this gate, this fence actually. It kind of reminds of like, the white picket fence. And it's like, guarding the entrance to your home, to your safe place. And then all these arrows coming in. It's like, okay, so these things are okay. Those things are safe and good and needed. Because let's face it, some of the things that we need are challenging, but it doesn't need to create suffering. The challenge, we can face it and not sit in the suffering. And so here is like, boop, deflected. Nope, I don't need that in my world, in my life. And look at how, this illuminated crown chakra is growing leaves. It's like what nurtures you, what keeps you mentally healthy, mentally vibrant. So yeah, it's a good place to start is just today. Claim your boundaries and see how that shapes and changes what you interact with. Like, whoops, too many cards. I love this one though. That's really sweet. Okay, these are the cards. I was like, this is too many cards, but clearly it's just the right amount. So the first one, these are so glossy that it's like reflecting every bit of light in the room. Ask your spirit helpers, and then be generous, and then expect the best. And I love that. I love that so much. That especially when we are claiming our boundaries, saying what is allowed and what's not allowed, and then this illuminated, I'm sorry for the glare. Goodness. Basically it's like, hey, you can see me. But yeah, so the glare is obnoxious, guys. Where do I put the card so you can see it? Okay. We're just so illuminated. Okay, so the card right here again with this of sometimes have you noticed when we're thinking just throughout the day, we're geared and trained to expect the worst? And so let's actually start, like, part of claiming your boundaries is deflecting illusion, saying no. Why do we always have to expect that the you know that the good thing is out of reach, or that it is too hard, or it's too impossible, or all of those different things? I mean, just think of all the different phrases in our culture, that, you know, one step ahead, two steps back, or I don't know, you name some of that you can think of where, oh yeah, no good deed goes unpunished. Like, come on. Like, this is all geared for creating suffering. And that is something that I think all of us can say, no, no. I can learn through a state of grace and ease and joy and abundance and love. And even if it is challenging, because that's basically why we signed up to do this Earth School, is for challenges that make us grow stronger and wiser, and make us know ourselves even deeper and deeper. Yeah, we don't need to create more suffering. There's enough already. So ask your spirit helpers and be generous. And I see that as your spirit helpers are generous. And you just have to allow in this generosity from your spirit team and your support team, your actual people team, the people around you, those earth angels that are hanging out. I love that. It's beautiful. Oh, look at this. And again, with the glossy card, I'm going to see if we can get this to not shine all the light back. But see how this teacup is like empty? It's like pouring out. And then this teacup is full. That right there. Oh my gosh, guys. That's like your spirit team filling your teacup. I think that's amazing. Yeah. So, and then also just the more the generosity that we give to others, like giving is so beautiful, and giving makes us want to give more. And then and it just like it comes back to us in the most delightful and unexpected ways sometimes. So, okay, I like that. It seems like, all right, we're doing pretty good. We are strengthening our container. We're calling in our team, our spirit team. We're being generous with our time and our space. And we're starting to change the way we think, starting to change the habits of behavior in the inner workings of the mind. Like notice that spiral. And that spiral is here also. There's this spiral here of unwinding the expectations of uh it not going your way and changing that wire to actually allow in, accept the gifts, the generosity of your spirit team, or just the world around you, allowing in what's good and beneficial to you. But look, there's that spiral again, right there. And it's going the other way. Look at that. Interesting. So it really is just kind of like I feel that this group is learning how to unwind the mental patterns and changing the way we think and feel about situations that come up and learning to see them through different eyes. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so there's that for us. I think that is an excellent place to be. So let's go ahead. I love the Starseed Oracle. So let's go ahead and pull from this another check-in, a deeper check-in. So we got information about our boundaries and rewiring our minds to expect the gifts. Ooh, so we got two cards. Two cards. The first one, water your garden. And then the next one is the Arcturian card for deep cellular healing. Wow, this is about water. Water, water, water. Mm. So what I'm feeling is like I see this pool or this pond, and we are starting to really notice the pool that is our pool, what we swim in daily. But over time, the pool gets, moss and algae start to grow, and cleaning that pool to make it shine. But take a look at this. Water your garden. So I feel that there is new water actually coming in to the pool, replenishing and rejuvenating and healing the water. And this one is amazing. The deep cellular healing, taking some time to actually just enjoy being in your sacred space when you create it. Like this is somebody who is deeply enjoying their sanctuary, their space. And so regardless of what your space may be like, and this could even be all different situations, your home, your work. I'm getting throat chakra stuff right now, so I think that's another space that is trying to release. Being safe to express your truth, being safe to be seen, and you are stronger and stronger and stronger in that ability to share yourself with others when your boundaries are strong. When you are in your power, then you can just be who you are without being fearful of what happens next. Because that actually is like reverberating out. And that's what's going to come back. That's what's mirrored back to you. And so, this healing that you are doing within your own deep inner sanctuary is so deeply healing. And then this healing is carried out to everyone else who meets you. Like that is you being generous. By you healing yourself, you actually default to carrying the vibration of healing. And everyone who meets, even if it's just a smile on the street, that's lifting someone's spirits up and creating a ripple effect of beauty. I love that. And the Arcturus energy really does focus on physical and emotional well-being. And so calling in that energy, and it's cool. I knew I needed to leave this painting up. This is my Arcturian energy painting. It's just, I just love that Caribbean blue color that I get whenever I tune into this energy. And it just feels so soothing. And it just feels like that water. I almost wish that I could recolor this card and make it that vibrant, delicious Caribbean blue. Just make it pop. Yeah. Yumminess. So it's like within this container, that's what's going on, guys. You're starting to get really strong. You're healing your container by strengthening the boundary of what is no longer okay. Sometimes that is the way we have to learn about our boundaries, is by discovering what what we have not liked in the past. It is kind of something that us humans excel at, learning what we don't like. And so you can just put that to good use. Okay, XYZ is something I don't like. But then what happens is that you notice that what you don't like is there is a seed of that inside somewhere of that is also part of me. And maybe you're not doing it exactly the same way that you're seeing it, but it's something inside that needs to be healed deeply by you actually being generous with yourself, by you watering you, you healing you. So, all right, let's go ahead and we're gonna pick from these wild and strange cosmic cards, and let's go ahead and get a little bit deeper, even deeper, about what it is that we need to know right now about what we've just unpacked. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? I love when the cards pop, and I try to wait for them to do that. We'll see. These guys are like, oh, okay, there it was. And then where did it go? Hmm, hmm, there it is. No, no, I lost it. Sorry, guys. We're gonna do that again. But it popped, and then these are kind of slippery. And so out came 800 more cards. So we're just, oh, that's why. Oh man, guys. All right. So we are getting deeper with this one. Way deep. This one is rejecting emotion. And this is the Zeta Reticuli card, and it has roots from the past. And so this card is talking about a a moment or many moments along life. This could be this life, past lives, of times when you have not you did not have either time, energy, or the luxury of embracing the emotion that you were feeling. And so, because of the need to survive and keep going, you rejected emotion of some kind. And this is something very, very simple and something that happens daily, all the time. This is absolutely normal, but something that we are starting to unwind is, there are times, let's say you are at work and something is said or something happens that triggers, and I know that's kind of a big word right now, triggering, but it sparks a memory of something that you didn't have time to process or heal. And so there you are at work, you're interacting with the public or, your coworkers or this project or whatever it is, and you do not have time or space, or it would interfere with being professional to process this emotion that has just come up. And so what do? You weed whack it. You weed whack it and you're like, nope, can't deal with that right now. And it just gets shoved down into the subconscious and then poof, look at that little tiny woundy wound. And then ouch, like all this stuff is hanging out in the smallest of little slivers of something, because the root is so much deeper. And so this right here is talking about, first of all, never invalidate your feelings. Your feelings are incredibly important, and they're like your radio antenna to the deeper reason why it's even coming up. So but we don't always have the ability to, hey, life, pause for a minute while I actually go into the emotional trauma of what this meant for me. And we don't have space for that all the time. So think of all the times that you have weed whacked your emotions just to get through the day. And so this right here is talking about you taking a moment, really really get those boundaries, get your sacred space set up however way you like to. I like to call in the directions, and I like to really feel how I am connected to the elements and the earth and my spirit team. And I call in my spirit helpers to help me do the work. And then to water the garden, one of the practices is actually to allow one of the feelings that have been unprocessed to actually come up, like the sacred spring bubbles in, like, a mineral pool, to allow those emotions to have space, to be safe, to be seen, to be heard, to be witnessed, and allow those feelings to actually be heard, rather than shaming them, guilting them, shoving them back in the closet, saying you're not allowed. And mainly it's talking about this, about what's not allowed in your space. Well, in past moments of our life, maybe we didn't have the strongest boundaries, so we did let a lot of stuff in. But then those things that came in continue to be unprocessed. And so now we're at the space where we can sit in our our deep cellular healing pool and allow those feelings to actually um just, yeah, to be, allow them to be. And when we actually just sit in that feeling, even just for, like, I have heard, and this is also part of what I do, is just sitting in that feeling for less than a minute even. Just allow it to just come up and out. A stone that I have been working with very deeply is obsidian. This is a very good tool to use for this work. And so allowing those feelings to be witnessed. And then basically, guys, it's kind of like pulling the splinter out or popping the zit. It just releases. And then after that friction, that point is out, that's when the healing can really happen. And the healing is just your natural state. This happens naturally. You honestly don't really have to do anything. In fact, the best thing to do to heal is to allow your body to do what it does best naturally. And so follow the joy and the excitement and your passion after this kind of practice. See what door just opened up. Perhaps you need to sing. Maybe you need to journal. Maybe you need to paint, dancing, talking to a friend, anything that actually helps move this. And when talking to a friend, though, it would be good not to get into story about whatever this is. It's, talking to the friend and, you know, sinking into the joy and the love that you share. And yeah, I mean, if processing needs to happen there, it's just don't sink too deep into, don't just sit in that wound forever. Let it move. Let it move. So, wow, that's really cool. That's really interesting. So what I feel from this is like, if this is our energetic check-in, it really is about, we're doing this work together. And I'm not just hanging out on this channel talking about it. I do this. This is why this is probably coming up as a reading. And I never want to be that kind of person that talks a whole bunch and doesn't actually do what I'm talking about. Like, it's really important that that I be authentic. So this is a practice that I do. And this one, rejecting emotion, this is where, it comes back around to we don't need to suffer, but things can be challenging and it's okay. That challenges are okay. And so feeling the emotion from certain things that have stung is challenging. And they were weed whacked or pushed down for a reason. But allowing those to actually come up and out, when we water our garden and we've weed whacked the weeds, some of those weeds are actually incredible medicine for us. Just think of how many dandelions are weed whacked and you know the herbicide to get rid of dandelions. And if you think of the power and the potent medicine of dandelions, weeds are so important that those are actually gut cleaners, and dandelion helps detoxify our vital organs. And so that is what this is about. Allow the weeds to actually be the medicine, you know? And then and then, as you get the medicine from them, start growing what you actually want to grow. Grow what you actually want to grow. Like maybe you don't want to have an entire garden of just dandelions. Maybe you want to have peonies. So allow those dandelions to do their thing, blow all the seeds, let them take root wherever they need to go, and then plant your freaking roses or peonies or whatever, or your herb garden, your kale for your smoothie. Anyway, let's get a little wisdom from the fairies. Let's get a little wisdom from the fairies. Oh, wow, what is this one about? What is this one about? The fairy of naughtiness. Oh, that's funny. Look at that little face. Hold on, guys. I knew that this was, you just have those moments of intuition. And so I ran and I got this and I was like, I don't know, I might need it. Well, look, we do. Look at that little face. She's so funny. Okay, let's go ahead and read the Fairy of Naughtiness. I'm getting the feeling that some of these push down um these push down feelings were maybe moments when we might have been a bit naughty. This is some way or another. Yeah. Okay, the Fairy of Naughtiness. It says, lighten up, mischief, misrule. Sometimes you just have to be naughty. Now, being naughty isn't being bad. Being naughty can be a wonderful release. The Fairy of Naughtiness asks you to step outside of your boundaries for a moment and do something unexpected. She dares you. Well, you can see it by the way she's looking at you. To change the energy of a situation by doing the one thing that will tilt the universe just a tiny bit. Sometimes you can change that energy just by thinking. Naughty thoughts can lighten a situation without anyone else having to know about it. As you look at her, I'm sure an idea will come to mind. Observe too. Observe too that she is also connected above and below. The energy of the universe runs through her and connects her to everything. She is part of the universal glue that holds everything together. If you don't acknowledge her, if you ignore her, you may become the target of her own naughtiness. She is very good at stealing things, losing wallets, misplacing important letters, stealing my favorite stones. She is. Oh, and she also helps you lose important thoughts. So when it looks like it's going to be one of those days when little things go wrong and circumstances become predicaments, acknowledge the Fairy of Naughtiness and get her on your side again. She just wants to play. I love that she came out. You can always count on the fairies to bring the humor. I love this because what is all of this calling us to do is to create a safe place in kind of a sacred practice of mess some shit up. Like it's okay to be messy. And, in this practice actually of releasing emotions that have been shoved down and and it makes sense. There's not always the time and place to throw a temper tantrum in the middle of the grocery store might not be the time and place. However, throwing the temper tantrum in the middle of your bedroom where you can actually just call in your allies and use your obsidian to throw your mega temper tantrum, well, do it. Do it. You're not being naughty. You're releasing energy. Go out into the woods. Grab some sticks, break some sticks. I don't know, put some mud in your hair. Get naughty. Be naughty. It's okay. It's okay to roll around in the dirt. It's okay to get messy. Life is a mess. But then there's also order. So it's like once all of that has been offered out into the universe, like see, she is connected to the earth and stars. Once that is offered out, just think of the clarity and just how clear and clean that pool becomes. It's like the water gets murky when she isn't allowed to express her true nature. And this, by fairies, I'm also talking about us. Like, we are a fairy realm as well. All of everything lives within us. So she lives in you too, this fairy of naughtiness. So what's one naughty thing that you can do to release some energy? And by that it's like, there are so many different social taboos. Like, have you ever read any of the antique etiquette books? My friend had a very, very, very old antique, like 1800s, I don't know exactly what year, um, etiquette book. And good grief, there were so many flippin' rules. Uh, First of all, it would be impossible to be a woman. You can't like even just like lifting your skirt to go across mud so that you don't get the skirt dirty. There was a rule around that. You can only lift the skirt with one hand and only up to mid calf. Good grief. Don't go any further than that. But can you imagine going on a hike? Like I'm tromping through, like my skirt would be a filthy mess. So, and also just like the insane social etiquette, good grief. It's just exhausting to keep up with all of that. And so this is where the fairy of naughtiness comes in. It's like just be you for a minute without having any social expectations or reasons to be calm and clean and collected and all of that. So, yay, fairies. I think that's great. So, let's see. I'm really feeling like today we always call on um, a crystal or a an animal, but today I want an herb. Today is herb day, and it's time really for us to, yeah, just like let's get an herb that's going to help us with this. Hmm. And I burp when I'm releasing stuff. I don't know if you guys do. Pay attention to what your body does. Allow it to actually release. And so for me, I never apologize. I'm very burpy. And so what? I'm burping stuff out. And if anybody has a problem with that, well, just don't stand downwind. Oh, look at that. Tulsi. You are sacred. You are sacred. Even your burps are sacred. Everything. Your naughtiness is sacred. I love it. Allow yourself to be sacred. Look at that. Another one popped out. I didn't know that. Ooh, red clover. And look at that heart. Wow. And it says center and ground. Wow. Powerful, powerful herbs to help this process. This whole thing, this whole energetic check-in has been giving us a sacred practice to feel our deepest feels in a safe container so that we can just be, so we can just relax and enjoy the process of living human lives. And so red clover is really tapping into your heart. I'll read this, by the way, but it's helping us ground and center. And just feeling that it's already just like clearing. Wow, clover is like all over the place. It's a pretty mundane herb. I mean, it could even be considered a weed. There are people that actually try to get clover out of their gardens because it does take over. But I love clover, and look at all the bees. Bees really, they know. If you see bees, follow the bees because they know what herbs are this stuff. And then Tulsi. Oh, I love this. It is a very sacred herb in India. And yeah, let's just go ahead and read it. Let's just read these. We'll start with clover. I'll show you the humongous picture there. Okay. Clover. This commonly cultivated forage crop feeds horses, cows, sheep, and goats, and just about anything else humans keep at pasture. She plants your feet to the ground, 2 or 4, doesn't matter to her, while encouraging you to run a few miles or dive into that art project you've been avoiding. Red Clover wants you to get moving in body, in spirit. She loves grounded action and will happily bolster your courage. From the Latin word cor, it means heart. And when you're acting from a strong center, you can step out and move forward, bold but not rash. Red Clover gets your blood up so that you can show up fully. Wow. So this card and just the messages coming through today is that, and this is the energetic check-in, remember? So this is already happening. I'm just showing it to you guys that this is what is already happening. You are strong and you are clear, grounded, and that heart is getting stronger and stronger every single day. And look at the sweetness. The sweetness is coming in. And just talking about how courageous we already are in that heart center. And so, doing this energetic practice of claiming the boundaries and letting the emotion do its thing, it looks like red clover would be a very supportive tea to have around. So, yeah. And then let's do Tulsi. And Tulsi is a pretty widely used tea, holy basil. And we'll just go ahead and read. Tulsi, also called holy basil, is traditionally planted in a special pot by the front door of homes in South Asia. This holiest of plants, thought of alternately as the household deity and manifestation of the goddess Lakshmi, she brings heaven to earth. Her spicy scent reminds you to be aware of the unseen and the spirit flowing in and out. Tulsi says, you're strongest when you let spirit help you adapt to the ups and downs of daily life. If you befriend Tulsi, she might give you a further message. Your spirit flows through your physical form, and so your soul is fed through your body's senses. You might wear Tulsi beads around your neck to remind you that you are the home for your spirit and that you are sacred. I love the part of your soul is fed through your body's senses, and that this whole thing has really been about our ability to tune into our emotions and use them as a guide. And that even the emotions that we have a hard time allowing to be, that those are also just as sacred as everything else. So that is really cool. I love the picture and the fact that Lakshmi comes in with Tulsi. And Lakshmi is just a really, really incredible goddess to work with. She loves giving gifts. She's incredibly generous, and her generosity is mirrored in our generosity. So, yeah, what a beautiful reading. I'm not sure there's any more cards that want to come out and play, so I think that's it. I think that's it for today. So it was so nice as always to hang out with you in my sacred space. And once we are done here, I'll close up the circle, and that will be the energy for the day. Yeah, I love it. If you want your own reading, of course, I am starting to look ahead to February to book readings then. If you haven't ever had your own personal oracle reading, it's a lot of fun. And I love doing these for people. So I don't know, schedule one. That way we can hang out, just us, individually. And that would be beautiful. Yeah. So that's that for today, my friends. I will see you the next time around, and I hope that this serves you well. Always just let me know. I love to know what's going on So if you want, message me some way or drop a little note in the comments of how do you how do you do this practice? And I don't know, tell me stories. I love stories. And if you want to tell more stories and share them together, there I have also created a Facebook group that's in the link down below. You can check that out. You can join the group and we can chat and ramble and share funny pictures, all that good stuff. So that is that. I'll see you next time, whenever next time may be, because I'm practicing deep self-care. And just a little update. The noise has gotten a lot better over here. In terms of the noise has not gone away, but my own sanity around it has changed and shifted. And that's very helpful. So for me, I am practicing radical self-care, and that means if I'm not having the energy to do these collective readings, then I will give myself time and space to do what I actually need to do, which could be sleep instead, or or take a walk and get out in nature and hike around because it's gorgeous right now. Like all the rain that we received is absolutely beautiful. I know that it created so many floods and things for people, and I hope that everybody is okay. Um, but it just the earth itself is just an absolute gem right now, like an emerald gem. So I want to get out there and hike before all of that turns into summertime crunchy crispiness again. So yeah. Anyway, I'm putting away all my cards, so I will say goodbye. Bye.